All right, today we are diving into a mental model that I promise is going to change the way you see the world. It's called domain specificity. It's kind of the secret reason why so many brilliant ideas just fail. And once you get it, it's like a superpower for clear thinking. Let's dive right in. You've seen this happen, right? A strategy that's absolute genius in one company completely bombs when they try it somewhere else. Or, a scientific principle that works like a charm in the lab just seems to fall apart in the real world. It's this one-size-fits-all fallacy, and it really makes you wonder, why does context have the power to just kill a great idea? Well, the answer to that puzzle is domain specificity. It's this simple, but honestly really profound idea that knowledge isn't always universal. Most of our concepts, our methods, even our truths are tied to a specific environment, a domain, and they just don't travel well. It's the thing that stops us from making really bad generalizations. I just love this quote from our source material. It doesn't frame domain specificity as some passive rule, but as a guardian. Think about that for a second. It's like an active force protecting an idea's integrity, making sure it isn't misused in a place where it simply doesn't belong. Okay, so if we're going to understand this guardian, we need to understand the territory it's protecting. So let's think of any field of knowledge, physics, marketing, doesn't matter, as its own unique country. And the first thing you have to do is map out its fundamental geography. So every domain, every one of these countries, has these four key features. The domain core, that's its capital city. It's the foundational ideas that give the whole field its identity. Then you have the boundaries, which are like its borders, keeping unrelated concepts out. The application area is the actual terrain, the real world where its ideas are put to the test. And finally, the universe of discourse is, well, it's everything inside those borders, the entire landscape of what you can even talk about. But a country is more than just a map, right? It's defined by its people, by their culture, and their unique language. And it's the exact same for a domain of knowledge. It has its own social and cognitive fabric that you really have to understand. So first, you've got expertise. And I don't just mean being generally smart, I mean the specific, hard-won skills you need to solve that domain's problems. And this is all made possible by Jargon. Now, Jargon isn't just confusing language meant to keep outsiders out. It's a super precise tool for experts to communicate incredibly complex ideas quickly and accurately. Together, these things build expert knowledge, the kind of deep, intuitive understanding you just can't get from a textbook. It's wisdom you earn in the trenches. And all of it is held together by a shared world model, that unspoken set of assumptions and beliefs that everyone in that field just accepts as true. It's like the air they breathe. So we have the map and we have the people. The final piece of the puzzle is the set of laws, the physics, if you will, that govern that domain. These are the rules of the game that determine what works and what absolutely does not. Right, so every domain has its own physics, its own rules. Limits of application, for example, define the cliff edge, where a theory or a model just stops working. Think about Newtonian physics. It's brilliant for predicting the path of a baseball, but it completely breaks down at the quantum level. Domain validity is like an internal fact-checker, always asking, hey, does this conclusion actually hold up here, under these specific conditions? Relevance acts like a powerful filter, just tossing out anything that doesn't help solve the domain's core problems. And finally, every single domain has its own unique definition of quality. I mean, what makes a work of art good is judged by a completely different set of rules than what makes a piece of software good.
And this brings us to a really critical distinction: general versus specific knowledge. See, some ideas are like universal keys. They can unlock doors in a bunch of different domains. But the most powerful insights, they're often like custom-made puzzle pieces, designed to fit perfectly in only one specific context. The real skill is knowing which kind you're dealing with.
Now, we've grouped all these ideas into three themes to make it simple: the map, the people, and the rules. But here's the crazy part. The source text we're drawing from actually identifies 26 distinct components of domain specificity. 26! We've really just scratched the surface, but it just goes to show you how deep and structured this concept really is. So what's the payoff for all this? Why bother? Well, it's not about getting lost in complexity. It's actually a direct path to clarity. When you first take the time to really define and understand a domain's unique architecture, and then you respect its boundaries and its rules, the result is an incredibly sharp focus. You gain powerful insights and the ability to see things with true conceptual clarity. So what I really want you to take away from this is a new, powerful tool for your critical thinking toolkit. The next time you hear some big sweeping claim or a silver bullet solution that's supposed to fix everything, you can now pause and ask yourself, okay, but in what domain is this true? What are its boundaries? And what are the rules of the game here? And that's the thought I want to leave you with. Take a look at your own work, your hobbies, even your beliefs. Where have you been applying an idea as if it's some universal truth, when in reality it's deeply, deeply tied to a specific domain? Just identifying that, that's the first step toward much sharper thinking. Thanks for tuning in.